So Nate, so Keir Starmer has decided that he's actually going to start doing something. Something's going to happen with the smuggling gangs. They've decided, they've come out and said they're going to start naming and shaming individuals and organisations that are helping the smuggling gangs, sort of supplying boats and dinghies and the money and all sorts of things that are facilitating these gangs. And the Home Office, Yvette Cooper, Ms. Balls, has come out and said this is a new groundbreaking thing. We're trailblazers. David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary, has said we're leading the way now. This is unprecedented. This is gonna work. And lots of people, not just people like us, who see it as complete disingenuous nonsense, a tiny bit of red meat in order to waste time. Even people, or some of the people on the left that are sort of pro open borders, even they're saying, yeah, this isn't going to do anything. This isn't going to do anything, right? This doesn't stop it. It's a giant thing. It's a giant infrastructure. And if you name like a dozen people or freeze the assets of like a couple of companies or whatever, that doesn't do it. You need the French to be on board. And they're not part of this raft of new measures. So it'll do nothing. Once again, it's just a little bit of, as I say, red meat to be thrown out so they can say they're doing something, so they can go on, Laura Königsberg or something, or they can go on Christian Guru Murphy, Channel 4 News or something and say, look, we're doing something. Look what we've done. It's ridiculous. Nonsense.
It's just absurd. It's absolutely absurd. If you wanted to fix this, you could do it. It's not a case of laws or this or that. It's a case of will. It's political will. How quick Keir Starmer was to abolish like NHS England. Now they're moving off what or something like that. They're amalgamating all these things. They're very quick to do a whole bunch of stuff that they want to do, that they actually have political will to do. This is not going to do anything. Also, side note, anyone watching this, yeah, the illegal immigration is one part of it. We acknowledge that legal immigration is far worse, obviously. But this is just absolutely pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. They've been in power now. Has it been a year? It has. Yeah, it's been a year, hasn't it? A year. And it's worse than it's ever been. Patrick Christie does very good work of GB News. I've got to give him that. Yeah. I give GB News some flack here and there. But he's done very, very good work. He recently, literally yesterday and today, released another. I'm going to the Calais migrant camps, and they're massive. They're way worse than they were before. Way worse than they were before. I mean, one of the things you could simply do is prevent charities helping them. Stop. Why are these people getting money? Stop. These charities shouldn't exist, right? They shouldn't exist. They're treasonous, right? The charities are committing treason. They're traitors. They should not be allowed. Sorry?
Like Care for Calais, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Any of these charities that go there, give them water, give them food, facilitate their life there, 9 times out of 10, paid for by the British taxpayer, because it's all up in NGOs. I mean, I'm sure I could find that, but I'm sure it's not a massive issue to say that that's probably the case. It probably is the case. And stop that for starters. Just stop that, right? Just stop that. That'd be great. Just stop that. That'd be awesome, cool. This isn't going to do anything. What an epic waste of time. This is, as you say, it's just red meat, isn't it? It's a case of, well, look, guys, look at this. Have a bit of that, I guess. Like, this is the most flaccid, impotent excuse of an attempt to do something that we've seen for quite a while.
It's insulting. You made a number of good points there. Yeah, so like the political will, because when Sir Keir wants to do something quite big, make a big political move, he's capable of doing it. Sacking loads of remove. Sorry,
I was going to say round the clock courts. Remember, round the clock courts for those far right protesters.
Increasing the franchise to 16 and 17-year-olds. That's quite a big political move, right? Just making abortion in certain cases legal up to the point of birth, something big. If he wants to do something like that, he doesn't seem to have any real problem pulling the trigger on it. But this, it seems, it's not really possible. Because, yeah, if you wanted to stop it, one, you could just change the welfare system so the incentives just simply aren't there. That's the big one. Because some French, it is a fair argument that they say, well, if you stopped having such an incredibly generous welfare system, then there would be no incentive for all these people to have massive camps in the Pas de Calais, just waiting for their moment to smuggle themselves on board a lorry or to get a dinghy across the channel. So that is a fair point from them. So he could do that. He could send the Royal Navy, use the Royal Marines or the Special Boat Service or something to physically stop the boats, or he could just detain every single person the second they land on our shores, keep them in detention somewhere in Dover or wherever it is, and immediately somehow strike some sort of deal with the French and send them straight back. There's a number of things. Like, don't use the RNLI to sort of ferry them across. There's loads of things you could do if you really wanted to. None of that. No. Again, just like the Rwanda project, you remember that? It's just an exercise in wasting time.
And money.
We've given the French loads of money.
I know, so annoying.
Millions, if not 100 millions of pounds to do this stuff, and they don't do anything with it. Essentially,
it's over $500 million.
Is it that much?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. It's over £500 million at the moment from my last. I'm dead certain it's £500 million. It's mental.
Where has that gone? You can imagine the French, and it is gone.
I got some cheese.
Yeah, madness, isn't it, man? And it's this is an invasion. Yes, you're quite right. Legal immigration makes the illegal immigration numbers look like almost nothing. Nonetheless, they could stop it, and they don't want to. Yeah, we're set this year. The numbers so far are above anything else, any other previous year. So, yeah, even though it was one of their big promises going into the last election, as it was for Rishi, his slogan was "Stop the boats," wasn't it? They're not going to. Until we get a government that really means it, they're just going to keep doing this sort of thing. Remember the deal that we struck with the French the other week, saying any illegals that come across, we'll swap them out for an actual asylum seeker. So
how about none? Don't want any.
Yeah. I mean, even zero isn't good enough. We need negative migration. So, and as you say, Patrick Christie's are good. Well, I throw shade at GP News all the time, but there's one or two people on there which are good, and Patrick Christie's certainly one of them. Saw a video just earlier today of him talking to, it was some sort of French version of Care for Calais. They're all French people, but yeah, they were there like handing out food or water or whatever to these largely sub-Saharan African migrants. Patrick Christie's walks up to them saying, "Excuse me, guys, sort of, what are you doing? Can I have a word? Can I ask you like what you're doing?" And they're really defensive and just pack up their stuff and run away, essentially. So yeah, there's the migrants themselves, obviously fifth columnists and invaders. And then there's this whole layer of help for them coming from what is essentially enemies of the British people, because the numbers of these migrants stroke invaders, just the sheer numbers that are an entirely criminal element, is massive. You're facilitating organized criminals and or violent criminals and or sex criminals to invade our country.
Demonstrably sex criminals. Like, we know that. We've got the numbers. We know that they are. Like, we know it. The numbers are there. It's insane.
So this is just one more story in the annals of how in the first quarter of the 21st century, we allowed ourselves, our political class deliberately allowed us to be invaded by entirely illegal people. Craziness.